Well, good afternoon and a very warm welcome. This is live Championship Rugby League here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport, the sound of the world's greatest sport. Wherever you're listening from today, if you're at home, if you're on the road, or with your boots still muddy from your own game, you picked the perfect place to be, because we've got a brand new Championship season and it starts right here, right now. There's always something special, isn't there, about opening day? New hopes, fresh ambitions and that familiar edge of anticipation that only rugby league can deliver. 80 minutes of grit, courage and controlled chaos awaits us here at Craven Park this afternoon. And after a short time away, it's great to be back behind the microphone as Barrow Raiders begin their latest campaign against their old rivals, Workington Town. A fixture that never lacks any feeling, never disappoints. The teams are out, the teams are doing through their warm-ups now. The crowd is trying to find its voice and its feeling back at its fingertips, but everything is in place for an opening chapter of noise and drama. I'm Dan Payne, alongside me this afternoon, two legends, one in Dave Parkinson, another in Graham Dale, so get ready for the next couple of hours. We're going to bring you every single carry, every collision and every moment that matters live on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, Graham Dale, what a warm welcome. Glad to be back.
Thank you very much. That's where the warm ends, and the early season and the wind and rain, it, by the way, is colder and wetter.
And to my right-hand side, the man that knows everything that we need to know about Workington Town, Dave Parkinson.
Good afternoon.
How are we?
You know, really, really good, yeah. Looking forward to this one, because I know there is a few new faces in this Workington campaign, and obviously it's also Championship rugby for Workington. We were playing League One last year and finished runners-up to North Wales Crusaders, but as often happens, we've got restructure of plenty of things for us to keep our tabs on, I suppose, and we're at the start of another season.
Well, we could sit here and try and pretend like we know how this season is going to go. I'm banning the word playoff structure. It's week one, right? You need to give us a few weeks to warm into it, but we'll definitely take a look as we go ahead into the season. If you haven't had a look, give it a Google, and if you do know how it works out, please let me know, because if you can teach me it, I'll be more than grateful. Now, we are going to get into the lineup shortly, but before that, obviously, it's pre-season. We've had plenty of chats with plenty of coaches and plenty of players. Dave's the man here, he's in control, and I believe we've got a few people that we caught up with, Dave.
Yes, so first of all we're going to hear from Ellis Robson. So our man Jordan Weir had a chat with him at the recent Championship launch.
Here with Ellis Robson of the Barrow Raiders. Ellis, firstly we'll get your reaction to the Challenge Cup, Jordan, if you get through your second round tie. Home to York, it's maybe not the plum Super League tie that everyone was maybe been hoping for, the likes of Leeds or St Helens, but still a big test if you're able to get through against a well-drilled York side who obviously are now in Super League.
Yeah, mate, definitely. You know, they're a Super League side now, so it's always good to test yourself against Super League opposition, and last year we ran them close once at their ground, so it'll be good to see how we've progressed. And, you know, magic of the Cup, you know, we'll back ourselves to beat them, but we've got to beat either Wigan or Leigh first.
Yeah, you've got the amateur clubs there in the background first, but if you get there, obviously it'll be a fantastic tie to host that at Craven Park. How's pre-season been for yourself? Testing, no doubt, up on them sand dunes down on the beach. I know Cresty will have had you down there. Couple of games in pre-season as well, North Wales and then the Scotland side for Shane Toll's testimonial. Lost the Whitehaven game, but how's pre-season overall been down at the Raiders?
Yeah, mate, it's been tough. You know, Cresta don't take it easy on us. No matter what the weather is, we're always at the sand dunes. They don't seem to be getting any easier as well. I thought I'd get a bit better at them. But no, as pre-season's go, it's been really good. A few new lads have come in, like Greg Richards, Joe Bullock, T. Ritson, so we're gelling well. We know it's going to be another tough year. We've got a small squad at the minute. So, but it has its benefits, like in pre-season, everyone's got game time. And, you know, North Wales was a good hit out for the lads. I didn't play, but they looked strong. Shame about the Whitehaven game, but it was good to get out for Shane's testimonial. Obviously, he's been a great player for the club. And we're looking good. Obviously, we start off with a big derby against Workington, so we need to be firing for that. But in regards to the squad, we're looking healthy, and it's been good to see some of the local lads be playing as well, like Stevie Watson. He's good, he's coming through. Finn McMillan's gone to Wigan, so hopefully might get him back, and it's been tough, but I think we're ready to go now.
You mentioned there some of the players that you fetched in terms of like T and Joe Bullock, obviously been in and around the squad previously, both obviously at times with yourself last season as well. maybe short on numbers, but it's a squad that's full run of quality, and you'll be hoping to be high up there in the Championship once again this season.
Yeah, mate, definitely. I think it's always good when you're bringing in Super League players from Super League clubs. You know, it's one of them. The league this year, the way it's out, the fixtures are, you know, it could go anywhere. You know, there's teams who've got favourable fixtures, teams who haven't. But, you know, last year we had a bit of a patch in the middle of the season where we should have done better, and it cost us a top 6 finish. But, you know, we've got a good team. We believe in ourselves. And we've just got to go out there and play all we can. Hopefully, minimum, we should be finishing in the top 6. But it's easy to say that before there's been a ball kicked.
And I suppose with the playoff structure that's been announced as well, 10 teams in a playoff. Once you're in knockout rugby, it's 80 minutes to themselves. You can forget what's gone on, you know, previously in you know, throughout the campaign. Once you're in that knockout rugby, it's team against team, 80 minutes, and you know, you're only a few games away from potentially getting to a grand final. Yeah, definitely. I think when it comes to knockout rugby, you know, things can turn on a dime, can't they? I think as well, every team's got quality this year, so once you're in the playoffs, you know, it's literally 50-50. You know, I was going through the fixtures with Cresta the other day, and you know, every game's a tough game. And once you get into that top 10 as well, you know, you got to look at some of the teams like London and who are spending money. You know, that's going to be tough games. But it's what you want to do. You want to be playing against the best teams that you can, week in, week out. And I think hopefully the way it's been done, it'll be a stronger competition for everyone, top and bottom. And just touching on this weekend, you mentioned it already, the derby against Workington. It's always great to start the season with a Cumbrian derby. Throw yourselves right into it. No doubt a healthy crowd. The game pushed back an hour to a 2 o'clock kick-off to ensure the Workington fans can get back on the train. Hopefully, many there in numbers, and start the season off with a bang. Yeah, definitely, mate. I'm looking forward to it. I've never played in a Cumbrian derby, but speak to some of the lads to say that they're the games you want to play in. And I think it's good to get a good crowd first game of the season. Workington obviously won the Ike this weekend, and I look through their squad, and they've got a squad that's got loads of talent in it, you know, as of Whitehaven. So hopefully, I think for Cumbrian rugby this year, it should be strong, all 3 teams. You know, hopefully we'll be the best out of the 3, but I want Cumbrian rugby to be strong, and hopefully it'll start off well this weekend.
Well, that was the voice of Ellis Robson there, Barrow Raiders second row, who starts is straight in the starting 13 this afternoon. So I'll quickly run through the Barrow Raiders lineup for you. Today's home team starting at number 1. It's the vice-captain, the new vice-captain, Luke Cresswell. On one side, we've got Andy Bullman alongside Curtis Tier, with Luke Broadbent alongside new signing, newish, T. Ritson. In at number 6, Brad Walker. 7, someone 6, 7. Ryan Johnston, the new club captain. In the middle, Joe Bullock, Josh Wood, Tom Walker, Ellis Robson, Manny Costello and Ryan King make up the 13 interchanges for the Raiders. The first of the new signings, Ellis Archer, back in Raiders colours on the interchanges this afternoon, and Greg Richards, the man that comes with a vast amount of Super League experience, back in his hometown, in his home colours. He's also alongside Charlie Emsley and the legend that is Jared Stack, who's managed to dwindle his way to miss pre-season, still get a contract, still on the bench this afternoon. That is the Barrow Raiders 13, and Graham Dale alongside me. It's a strong lineup, mate.
It is. I think they've acquired well this season. Looking forward to seeing Joe Bullock partner up with Tom Walker. You know, like Ellis Robson was an outstanding player last year. Josh Wood, like to see him get some good game time. You know, and we know how strong in defence. We'll just show a little bit more around that dummy half as we go through the league, and just be a bit sharper and play up the middle a little bit and break teams up before we get onto this wide width with big players.
We're going to get Dave shortly to run through the Workington Town lineup this afternoon, but just before we do, Dave, obviously we caught up with Zarin Galea, and he can tell us a bit of an insight into the Workington team this year.
Zarin, first of all, we'll get your reaction to the Challenge Cup draw. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're able to get through Blackbrook in a couple of weeks, St Helens at the Fibres Community Stadium, it's a carrot of a draw for yourselves if you can get through.
Yeah, it's absolutely massive. It's good for the club, it's good for the players. You know, it's a great experience, I think, to play against the calibre of Super League players, and definitely got a job on our hands to do against Blackbrook, and just one step at a time for now and earn that carrot. So.
Yesterday, as we speak, you won the Ike Southall Memorial Trophy. Always a huge fixture in both clubs' pre-season calendar for Workington and Whitehaven. Atrocious conditions. How was the 80 minutes?
Yeah, it was just 80 minutes of flat rain. Like, I've never experienced anything like that in my life, and got back out there second half, and I was freezing cold. But other than that, honestly, it was a good clash. It's good to get some cobwebs off, and good to be back. That rugby league's back. So.
Summer rugby, of course, or it's meant to be, but have you ever started a season in colder, as wet conditions as you did yesterday?
Nah, definitely not. Usually back home in Oz, we're doing like 40-degree pre-seasons, and then you get here and it's pissing down rain. And got off the plane at Edinburgh and it was -7. I was wearing my Workington cricket shorts, and I was like, I've messed up there. So,
like I said, looking forward, moving on to this season now. What's the aim for Workington Town? A successful season last year would have been going into the playoffs in good form if they'd taken place before this amalgamation of Championship and League One. What's been spoken about in and around the camp this season in this new format of the Championship?
Yeah, definitely. I think just getting a consistent performance all year round. We've got a few new lads in, and I think the core of the squad has stayed there as well, which is positive. But yeah, just really gelling and getting some wins together, and would be very nice.
And you look at the competition, I mean, no doubt you'll know many of these players that have come over from Australia for the likes of London and a couple of others as well. There's a few boys you'll have been watching, no doubt, in the terraces in the NRL. What's it going to be like to go up against them in this championship campaign?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, like not too long ago, I was obviously a fanboy watching NRL week in, week out, and then you're coming up against the likes of Regan Campbell, Gillard, and of that calibre, and it's like it's a pinch myself moment. But at the end of the day, you're playing against them, and you want to get the job done. So.
And like I said, just going back, what is the aim then this season? What have you discussed within sort of camp? Is there any aim, or is it just a wait and see how we go this season? Because like I say, you're going to be going up against a lot of established championship teams that have been playing in here in the competition. One of them obviously being this weekend, Cumbrian neighbours, Barrow. It's going to be a really tough task first time out. Yeah,
definitely. I think if you look at it like this, Barrow being probably the mainstay of the Cumbrian teams in Championship, they've solidified themselves as a solid team, and if we can work ourselves, it's not going to be an overnight thing, but if we can work ourselves up to be around middle of the table, to upwards the middle of the table, I think that's our goal.
So it sounds like it's going to be a season of progression, this one, for Workington Town. We have got a delay in kick-off, so I've got plenty of time really to go through this Workington lineup, haven't I? So at fullback he's one of 5 new signings for the club, Alex Donaghy. Then it's out in the back line, Zarin Galea, we just heard from him. Then Spencer Fulton, Rio Corkill, once upon a time of this very parish, and Oscar Doran. And then at half-back pairing, Jake Carter, another Barrovian, with a famous dad who I know is really still well thought of amongst these parts. And alongside him, new Australian signing Brandon Lee. In the front row it's Callum Farrer, Callum Phillips and Ross Ainley. Those were really the engine room players who did the trick last season as Town finished second in League One. And then it's a new back row pairing of Evan Lawther, who really impressed in 2 games for Newcastle Thunder against Workington Town last season. And it's the Kiwi Ture Rafiti, new signing, fresh from New South Wales Cup experience as well. And then of course the man with all the experience who celebrated his testimonial last year, Stevie Scully, completing the starting lineup for Workington Town. On the bench it's Jake Bradley, Lucas Castle, Jude Lupton and Grant Reid. Now, the story about Grant Reid, he only featured a few times during last season. He was basically told in the close season, go and get yourself fitter. He's come back, he's absolutely ripped, he's lost 10 kilograms. So we've got a new, lighter, hopefully more hard-hitting Grant Reid for Workington Town fans to look forward to this season, and that's the Town lineup this afternoon.
Well, if that's not an advert for Manjaro, then I never know what is. So alongside me as well, Graham Dale here. So I'm going to go say as well, just try to get an update off the cameraman. Graham, from what you know from these 2 teams, what sort of match are you expecting this afternoon?
Well, it'll be tight. I won't be surprised if there isn't more than average mistakes made. I think that'll be the key to the game today. The team that can control possession, kick intelligently. I do actually think, unless you're going for distance, it's a good ploy to put the ball on the floor today because it'll be slippy and greasy, and advance, and you could get some repeat sets out of that. So yeah, whichever team controls the conditions and plays smart in these conditions, I think it'll be a tight game. I'm going to say Barrow by 10 points.
Well, we are getting more updates through. It was meant to be a 15-minute delay. And I've got no shame in saying this is Steve Neal forgetting passwords on the brand new ticket system we have here. Brand new technology for you. Humans and technology do not work well. Well, I think he's logged out of the system. Steve Neal's doing his rounds around the ground with the password that's firmly connected to his brain. And his brain isn't working as well on a Sunday afternoon. So then we are being told that it's fixed. 2 o'clock kickoff is back and truly on. But with 1 minute to go, it doesn't look like it's going to be very on to me, fellas. Not too sure. It's a strange one, isn't it?
It is a strange one, that's for sure.
Anyhow, so we will just run through and confirm these lineups. If you are tuning in late, welcome to BBC Radio Cumbria Sport here this afternoon, where we do expect there is going to be a slight delay. It was due for a 2 o'clock kick-off, but due to ticketing issues on the new turnstiles, we are maybe being told it could be 2:15 now. But as for Barrow Raiders, then they start with their fullback, safe as a Swedish seatbelt, Luke Cresswell, with Andy Bowman and Curtis Tia, the dynamic duo that were last season. Luke Broadbent partnering up alongside T. Ritson. How many tries will T score in his return to Championship Rugby League full-time? Brad Walker partners up alongside Ryan Johnson in the 6 and 7 positions. Joe Bullock, Josh Wood and Tom Walker, with Ellis Robson, who we spoke with earlier on, alongside Manny Costello and Ryan King as the loose forward. Interchanges for the Raiders: Ellis Archer, Greg Richards, Charlie Emsley and one-time captain Jared Stack. As we move on to this new generation of Barrow Raiders, Ryan Johnson now takes the captain's armband for this season. As for Workington Town and Alex Donaghy, Zarin Galea, Spencer Fulton and Rio Corkle, with Oscar Duran, Jake Carter, a new signing Brandon Lee, with Callum Ferret and Callum Phillips, Ross Ainley, Ewan Lather, Tura Rafiti. Got that right, Dave?
Just about.
Just about.
We'll get away with it.
Steve Scully making up in the number 13 position. Interchanges for Town: Jake Bradley, Lucas Castle, Jade Lupton and Grant Reid. 18th player Jack Ainley, and I must say the 18th for Barrow, Stevie Watson, another man that's come up from the Furness Raiders Academy. And I think, Graham, we followed the academy for a long time. I remember when Jake Carter was there as a young pup and we were praising him, and we've watched the likes of Charlie Emsley come up. We've seen many over the years. This is just another product of that Barrow Raiders system, and again it's Paul Crary putting trust at this level in these youngsters.
Yeah, well, it's been a good production line for Barrow for a few years now, and they took advantage of it very well. As you can see, Finn McMillan moved on to Wigan. We could get him back on loan maybe for the season, but it is great, and it's great because I work at the college, and as you know, it's associated with the college, and the young lads that play rugby that are in college buzz about it, and they want to try and get onto it, and that's all they hope to play for. When you ask them which rugby club they play for, they might have said Barrow Island or Hyndpool, or well, maybe not Hyndpool, because that's Dan's team. But they say I want to get on the Furness Raiders, because they can see it as a pathway to maybe getting into a professional rugby league. So,
And Dave, obviously you spent a bit of time now with Workington.
Yeah.
A team that are building almost from the bottom up. They have been for the last few years. I mean, any stars of the future that we can see in this team?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm really looking forward to seeing now Spencer Fulton goes in his second season. Workington picked him up from Cockermouth last season, and he was very good for a debut campaign. I think he played about 9 or 10 games. Had some really established League One centres in his pocket, so he's fairly good defensively. I'm interested to see now we've got the step up in level how he goes, but he's definitely one to look out for, and they've picked up other players as well, perhaps a little bit longer in the tooth, but Ross Ainley had a great season last year. I know he's an established Championship forward these days, and of this lineup today, I'm looking forward to seeing how Alex Donaghy goes, to be fair, at fullback.
Well, there we go. They're the ones to watch this afternoon. The players are out onto the field. We have got a few minutes delay. Not the 15 minutes as expected, but almost 5 minutes late here due to them turnstiles issues to start off the Championship season. But we are just moments away. Kicking off with a Cumbrian derby. Is there a better way to enjoy rugby league on a Sunday afternoon? As Jake Carter eyes this one up against his former teammates. And here we go. Championship rugby is back. Barrow Raiders, Workington Town, 80 minutes of a fun-filled summer rugby, soaking wet afternoon. And it's Barrow Raiders that will be starting off, taking the ball in hand up towards the 20-metre mark now. And it's always handy to have a camera a view just in front of you for when idiots like me forget the glasses for these massive moments we've waited months and months for. And it's still, I can't zoom in on this one either. Raiders then moving up towards or down the left-hand side now, just past the 30-metre mark, taking the ball into the middle with the captain Ryan Johnston, who's kicked that one early in the set, bobbling around the right-hand corner now. It's going to be collected by Town. Alex Donaghy, the fullback, Workington Town possession.
Drives his way to the 20-metre line. Good first up run from Donaghy. Interesting little first step from him, and then following up now, carrying forward. Town just around that 20-metre line. Some great line speed there from, in particular, Josh Wood. And then one pass to the right-hand side. Zaringalia trying to get between defenders, but he's not finding much change there out of this Barrow defence. Just over their own 20-metre line at the moment, Workington. They'll make a few more metres through the ever-reliable Rio Corkill, but even he's still stopped behind his own 30 out on the right-hand side. 10 metres in from the touchline. It comes in field. Dropped over the shoulder from Braden Lee into the arms of Stevie Scoley, who made about 5 metres, but they've reached the end of this first set in possession. And Jake Carter, huge boot downfield, and it'll be taken on the bounce, will it, by Bullman, and Bullman will return with interest.
So Raiders now then with Andy Bullman, a man who's hopefully going to manage to stay injury free, because I imagine with a full season under his belt he could quite easily get into double figures for tries and beyond. Curtis Tier, such a pivotal man in last season's campaign for the Raiders, takes them up towards the 40-metre man, and another man with vast amounts of experience, Joe Bullock, but he's dropped the ball under pressure. Now Workington regain possession.
Yeah, Spencer Fulton was quickly on the error down this left-hand side. One pass to the left, and this is even Lather running. Big figure of a man. It takes 3 Barrow Raiders to put him down. He's inside the 30-metre line, just approaching 10 metres in from the touchline. Wild pass finds Carter. Carter then picks up another ever-reliable player in Callum Farrer, who rumbles forward for a couple of metres, 25 metres out Workington Town. Spreading play to the right through Carter. Carter moving on to Braden Lee. Lee out the back line, using the back line sensibly. Donaghy finding it was Rio Corkill down that right-hand side, but the defence sprung the trap again, and the 20 metres away from the line here are Workington. Applying a little bit of pressure, stepping run forward from Braden Lee. Just over that 20-metre line. So far, so good in this set defensively for the Raiders. Looking to ask a couple of questions as Ainley picks up Carter down this left-hand side. Carter drills it across to the corner. It's collected really well by Bullman, and Workington try and force a dropout, but he's done well to stay in for field of play there, Bullman.
Yeah, he's done well, has the man with the mixed martial arts background there. He's done well to keep ball in possession. And Graham Dale summarising match this afternoon. What do you make of these early starts?
Yeah, they both made a reasonable start to the game. They both got through the sets pretty well, got good kicks away. Just noticed that last kick from Darren Carter there. Just popped it up in the air. I like to have seen it go through on the floor, create a little bit more havoc, especially in these slippy conditions.
Yeah, the conditions are definitely getting wetter. They're getting muddier, and I'm sure it's going to be a bit of a mud bath as this match continues. Kicking it deep off their own 20 that time is Brad Walker. It's bobbling around, and it's going to be testing the Workington fullback, who's just and so done well to collect that one.
Yeah, he was taking his time, wasn't he, waiting, and he's drifted across field. He's probably ran about 30 metres, and he's slipped the ball out to Zaringalia, and I'm not sure quite I would have been going through that sort of play so early in a set as well. Just over 20 metres away from their own line. Barrow in the right area to try and apply the pressure, aren't they?
Yeah, that was a good kick chase. They were met by a thick blue line.
So Workington still in possession, pushing their way forward just over that 30-metre line. That's a good run, that. Phillips tries to encourage his side. The ball's been lost. Picked up by Barrow, but the referee, Matty Lynn, is going to rule a scrum. But it's a perfect position for the first attack of the game, really, for Barrow.
Yeah, it puts them right in the box seat there for a good attacking set. Just looking at the actual circumstances, it's not showing a replay out on the video yet. I think there was. It's hard to say when it's light, slippy and wet like it is, whether there was a hand in there. I know the Workington Town players thought there was.
Oh, I thought it was just a decent tackle, to be honest.
Sometimes it happens that quick.
Ball into the scrum then. It comes out towards this right-hand side into the hands of Curtis Tier, who's brought down. Raiders find themselves starting this set 30 out now. In a great field position for the Raiders to put some points on the board. I would tell you how many minutes to play, but today, the scoreboard, technology at its finest, has decided I don't want to turn on. I'm going to guess we're approximately 5 minutes into this one now, and as Raiders moving down that left edge, find themselves around about 12 metres or so away from the try line, bringing the ball back in towards the middle once more. Flying towards the left-hand side of the post now. Ryan King with that skull cap on this afternoon. As Raiders out towards the left side with Johnson, who's bubbled it through. The ball bubbling around. It's going to be collected. Is it by a Raiders shirt? The referee takes a look and says no, it's going to be play on.
Ooh, that was fortunate. What a good kick that was. That caused loads and loads of issues, didn't it?
Where was the trajectory? On the floor.
So
I'll tell you what, I'd hate to be a winger or a fullback on days like this, because you've got to bend down at the mercy of everybody else's feet.
It was like an off-cutter in cricket, wasn't it? The way the ball just veered away from the Workington Town players. They're in possession, by the way, just over 32 metres away from their own line. Ainley will pick up a few more metres to the 40. Already players' shirts getting muddy totally in these conditions. That's great line speed again from Barrow, dropping Workington just over their own 40 metre line. Phillips will slip the ball right, picks up Raiden Lee, he drops it back over his shoulder, looking for Rafiti tackle 5 metres inside his own half of the field, still on that right side of the play. Now it'll come to this left hand side. Carter finds Lawver getting the ball out to the centre. Spencer Fulton, good run from him as well, made some excellent yards. They're just over 30 metres away from the Barrow post on the last tackle. Ball into the arms of Carter. Carter keeps his kick low. He's been listening to you, Graham. Rolls along the deck, picked up.
Claim that, yeah.
Just noting in back play here, Josh Wood is really struggling to put weight on what appears to be his right foot after that tackle towards the end of that Workington set there. The doctors and physios are now making their way onto the field, but let's do hope that everything is okay for the Raiders hooker. He's such a pivotal man in this Raiders team. The man they call the M6, because he's got two hard shoulders. This big tackle. It's a true story there.
I like it.
Up towards the 20 metre mark now, just using the forwards to burst down the middle. I think Josh Wood is going to shrug that one off and is quickly straight back into the action, gets that ball away, and once again Raiders kicking early in the set with Brad Walker.
That's a great kick.
It's a fantastic kick downfield. It was almost a good 40-20 attempt there as well. Was it a 40-20?
I
think it is. I think Raiders are going to get possession back here.
He was that side of the line when he kicked it,
Super kick.
Great kick.
Really good kick.
In the conditions, the right edge of this pitch has just got a little bit of dryness left on it, and Walker's found that with perfection. Raiders get possession back, and albeit 15 metres or so away from the Workington line. Just waiting to get the tap, and goal start here then as Brad Walker, probably the cleanest shirt left on the field, gives it to his namesake Tom Walker, who's that muddy you can't see the name or the number on the back of his shirt. Raiders now then within 10, moving out towards this left side, looking for their first points of the championship season. Will it come now then? They've got the overlap and the ball has been lobbed. It's been lost on that last pass there just before they were about to burst in for the first 4 points.
Wow.
So close once again.
Yeah, the line was wide open there, wasn't it? Some confident play and the passing across along the back line, a real opportunity there, and thankfully as far as Workington are concerned, they were able to leap on the error, and this is going to be a scrum in favour of Town, just 10 metres away from the line, but a real opportunity there, wasn't that?
Yeah, like you said, it's going to be one of them days where you're going to be drop passes, and that's two opportunities you've had now, the Raiders, to get on the board, and you can't afford to give them too many opportunities and keep them in the game. Like, Town will keep going, it'll fuel them. The fact that it's still 0-0 on the scoreboard, if the scoreboard's working.
I think they're trying to turn it on now, so someone's been rubbing the remote because the scoreboard is coming on.
Here come Workington in possession. Oscar Doran 15 metres from his own line, he just ducked round this left hand side of the scrum. Now it's in the arms once more of Spencer Fulton up against Curtis Tier, so it's Cumbrian grit against Cumbrian grit this afternoon there, isn't it, between those two. Good challenge coming in, but Evan Lawver showing his strength, getting rid of one of them, but then two other players getting up, and one of them is Tom Walker adding all the pressure. Carter slipping the ball right, it goes through halfback's hands, and now it's out with Corkill on that right hand side. He stopped 40 metres out from his own line, almost slid the last couple of metres on this I was going to say lush turf now, but it's a muddied turf, isn't it? Town have reached the end of their set. Callum Phillips moves into dummy half now. He'll look towards Carter, and it'll be his cultured boot that'll clear the distance. It'll bounce and bobble.
Oh, it's stopped dead, isn't it? I think that just says it all about this pitch already early doors. Only 10 minutes on the clock, and the ball there just stopped dead in front of the fullback Luke Cresswell. Raiders now pick up possession. just in front of their own 30 is the speedster T. Ritson, almost trying to break round that far side there, but the ankle tap was enough to bring down the Raiders winger. Now the referee's not too happy with something. He's told him to go back a metre or so before he plays that ball.
Is this what we've got to put up with for the first 3 weeks? Referees pushing players back.
Do you know what? I try and read through all the new rules and regulations of a season, but then sometimes I feel like it just gets made up in the moment. So I try not to get too involved with it. I just enjoy, for what we're watching at, just try and enjoy the sport that is rugby league. As Raiders now then up towards the halfway mark. Tom Walker bursts through and takes Barrow to within 40 on the last. Josh Wood now is shrugged off that earlier injury. Gives it to Brad Walker, who's putting that one up high into these January skies. Collected well.
Well positioned by Alex Donaghy again, although he won't get much change out of his kick return. Again, some great work from the Raiders defensively, and I'm sure that Cresta will be really, really happy with the way that they've started the game.
Yeah, one of the big things that all the middles have worked on in this last couple of years is fitness, and the success that they've had has been down to, I think the team in general, this whole squad has been really, really match fit.
Certainly enjoying these early tussles. I'm not sure how much Workington are enjoying them, because they've really ventured over halfway and they currently find themselves 30 metres away from their own line. Played out by Farrer onto Carter. Carter pops it over the top. I'm not sure how much he was expecting it, but he's been hit there as Spencer Fulton, and that's a penalty. He gets up and faces up against opposite number Curtis Tier. I said no love lost between two Cumbrian centres there.
I don't think there was too much in that one, to be fair, from Tier. There was a bit of a slap.
He kind of bounced off, didn't he? Bounced off. Right under us here. I think he just took exception to it. You've got to stand up for yourself, especially on days like today.
Carter
don't
finds
back down, do you?
Made about 15 metres with his kick to touch, so Workington will start this attack just inside the Barrow half. Fulton taps. Here's Evan Lawther. He's certainly mixing it up early doors.
He's had a good start to the game,
Yeah,
hasn't
very, very involved. Often taking a couple of carries a set as Phillips picks up, sends it into the hands of Carter in the middle of the field. He drops it off looking for Farrer. Farrer finds the going tough. Tackled just in front of that 30-metre line. Phillips darts off. Links with Lee. Lee gets caught in possession though. Really good work from Josh Wood in defence. 25 metres out from the line, Workington. Turning the ball back towards the middles. Into the arms of Ainley. Off skipper Stevie Scoley. 20 metres out from the line. They're chalking this distance off, but it's only going down in fives. Trying to bust his way through the front door. It's Farrer. Farrer inside the 10 now. Last tackle in this set. Ball worked out to the left-hand side. Carter holds the play up. Donaghy plays it out. Oh, chance here for Fulton. Fulton spills it out of his hands, straight into the hands of Bullman, and they've recovered there well of Barrow.
Yeah, he's in the right place, right time there, was Andy Bullman. But Raiders have got work to do now, because this Workington defence, they're getting up strong. 13 minutes played of this first half, still remains scoreless. Ryan Johnson's gone for the crossfield kick, and it's gone straight into the hands of Ritson. Can Ritson get away? Ritson's trying to find some dry ground. He's made it all the way up towards the halfway line, and the Raiders speedster puts Barrow in a perfect position. The referee now indicates back to one. Now we've got a fight on the halfway line. Welcome to Championship Rugby. Welcome to Cumbria Derby Day. It's a 26-man brawl in the middle of the field. Would you expect nothing less?
Oh, they're just exchanging pleasantries.
Happy new season. Compliments of the new championship season.
Maybe something was brewing when Curtis Tier had a coming together just a few moments ago, but I think, to be fair, if you're going to give away a foul, a penalty, do it with them moments. T. Ritson was away. He was looking for the quick play of the ball. If he got that one away, there was probably an 80% chance Raiders were going to fly through and find a try line with... You know, the Workington defence was at 6s and 7s.
I initially thought it was good. It was good chasing back from Workington, actually. Yeah. I think it was Braden Lee who ended up sort of catching up with T. Ritson, but there was something that went on the floor that obviously Ritson...
he just wanted to let him know that he'd caught him and he was there, you know, because T's always... He's got this... I'd say he's got this air about him now. People know about him from his time at St Helens and when he was at Barrow, and, you know, like say, score tries for fun. You know, Sometimes it's like that, the game. You catch a player, literally, and you want to make sure that they understand that they're not going to have things all their own way.
He's going to be 10 minutes in the bin, is it?
Yes, it is.
It is
Braden Lee. He was the man on the chase back that tackled Ritson from behind. Then, as you said, Graham, I think he's had a word in his shell, hasn't he? And just sort of tried to mix things up, and he's taken to exception with it. Held him down, chucked a couple of punches as well.
I don't think it was the word in his ear. I think it was the pick him up and try and plough the field with his nose.
So Brandon Lee off the field for 10 minutes. It wouldn't be a Cumbrian derby without a yellow card, would it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So the referee is just having a few words with the captains to try and calm this one down. Good luck with that one. This championship opening match. Barrow against Workington. It still remains scoreless. It's been a feisty opening quarter of an hour here at Craven Park. Raiders now then, as play looks to get back underway. Referee waves time back on as the captain, Ryan Johnston, kicks that one on top of the marquee. Just around the 30-metre mark then. So Raiders, will the points come now? Fresh set against a Workington team that only have 12 men in the lineup for the next 10 minutes. This is a prime opportunity as Josh Wood gets this one out to King. King runs right through the centre. Brought down within 15 metres of that Workington try line. Josh Wood has got, looking at his options, referee indicates 6 again once more, holding down for just a little bit too long there on Ryan King as Curtis Tier now takes the Raiders to within 10. The momentum picks up for Barrow, moving it down the left side. Acres of space towards the try line. Is he going to be short? He's going to be over. It's going to be the first points of the championship season. They're going to go to Barrow Raiders in this Cumbrian derby. It's now Barrow 4, Workington 0.
Yeah, well, that try certainly came about by the early enterprise by Ryan Johnson early on when he kicked out wide. Bullock it was, it scored it, Dan. Are you watching? So they kicked it out wide, and say Ritson got the penalty for the Raiders on the halfway, put it in, got the field position, and they just showed a little bit of composure. And you're not going to stop big Joe Bullock when he's running as fast as he is, even in these conditions, from 5 metres out.
Yeah, it was a real powerful finish from him, wasn't it? It was one of those stop me if you can kind of moments, and they weren't strong enough to hold him out. But I tell you the truth, if he's running at me like that, I'm inviting him to the try line. Never mind trying to tackle him.
Yeah. I think I'd get me air landing mat paddles in. There you go. Park there.
I think there was a slight confusion there. You've got to bear with us. I think the players were giving a big back slap to Curtis Tier, but then we believed it was Joe Bullock. Our eyes aren't good enough. We're all old men up here. That's what it is. We've got a camera in front of us that's not zooming in. But we are going to confirm Joe Bullock, the man who signed on the dotted line for a new contract in a Barrow Raiders shirt this season. He gets the first points for Barrow for 2026. And now it's going to be Ryan Johnston. Is it Ryan Johnson? My eyes are playing up on me. Is it Brad Walker? Brad Walker on kicking duties. I will bring the spectacles for next time. I really will. 6 points to 0 then. Just moments after Brandon Lee goes off for 10 minutes for an illegal penalty on T. Ritson on the halfway mark. The Raiders scoot into the left-hand side of the posts.
I think they may well be leaving the kicking duties to Brad on goal kicks, like things like that, because if you remember last year, Johnson, he was struggling with hernia, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. So this early in the season, especially cold and damp.
Summer rugby, Graham. Summer rugby.
Only in term.
Raiders now then in possession, starting this set off their own 20 again. Workington strong in defence.
This was a key point last season. They were very strong through the middle generally, Workington, in defending.
Moving down that left side now, trying to bring the ball back in field as Raiders fly through the middle past the 40-metre mark, looking to find a way inside the Workington half of the field as try scorer Joe Bullock picks this one up and he gets past the halfway, carrying 3-4 Workington shirts with him. Great run there by the Barrow forward, but it's now fifth and last. Raiders going down the short side as Ryan Johnston grubbers that one downfield. It's done well. Off the boot, collected. Workington will go again.
It was another tricky kick for Donaghy to take, and he's done well with it. Like you said, he's about 15 metres out from his own line. Can they get down the ground? Up against it at the moment. Doran takes a scurry. Only as far as the 20-metre line in centre field is concerned. Phillips moves into dummy half. Head swivelling, puts the ball to the left, picks up Zaringalia, who's the man with the cleanest jumper as far as Workington are concerned. He's just outside his own 20-metre line. Wide pass for Carter on this left-hand side. Dummies, but to be fair, they weren't falling for it with the Barrow defence. Brad Walker holding strong there in particular. Still 35 metres out from their own line. Donaghy throwing a dummy. Not much doing. Picked up and dumped to the floor. Dominant tackle there from Walker. Brilliant work from Tom Walker, that was. And then on the last tackle, it's kicked out of danger as far as Carter is concerned. He's got some distance on it, some oomph, and it gets into the arms of Cresswell.
Luke Cresswell now then does collect that one, tries to wiggle and find a way through. He's dropped on the 30. Still remains Raiders 6, Workington Town 0. The scoreboard still hasn't caught up. We've played almost 20 minutes here at Craven Park. You're listening live on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport with me, Dan Payne, joined this afternoon by Dave Parkinson and Graham Dale, of course. So far, Graham, the opening 20 minutes of this Cumbrian derby, this championship opener. What do you make of it?
Yeah, as the scoreboard suggests, the Raiders are just edging it at the moment in chances and opportunities. They're just starting to edge the possession as well and field position as we see them go up the middle of the field.
Found a good break here. It's going to be Josh Wood. Josh Wood is going to grubber it towards the try line. It's going to be a chase. He's going to put a little bit too much on that kick, though. Did the Raiders hooker. The chasing attack couldn't quite find the legs to drop on that one. So it's going to be a restart on the 20, but good intentions.
That was a great opportunity, to be fair. I mean, you mentioned Bullock as still having some pace, and it was his little pass that unlocked it for Josh Wood. Workington, thankfully, as far as they're concerned, back in possession, still trailing by 4 points to nil. Zaringalia tries to make some hard-fought metres. Chalks about 8 off with that carry over on the right-hand side. Ball played, and Stevie Scully goes straight back at them and makes it to the 40. There's a lot to admire about Stevie Scully. 37 years of age now and still doing the business. There is the new man Rafiti down that right-hand side, complaining to the touch judge, pointing at a couple of players who was having a jousting match with verbally.
Ryan Johnson of all people.
And Workington still in possession. Ball played in the middle. Ainley takes on the defence, doesn't get very far. They've reached the last play of this set. So they'll look round for the kicking of Carter. Carter hoists the ball high in the air. It's an angled kick. He'll come after it, but it's a good take, and they're all offside here at Workington. And something said on the floor yet again. Referee gets involved. Players running in. All of a sudden, there's something to sort out again. I don't think there was too much in it, but I think our referee he's a bit keen to get involved, shall we say, after that first incident.
I think there was a split second there.
Yeah.
The lad caught it and he was hit at the same time. I must admit, I didn't see a lot wrong with it.
So it's going to be a penalty. Raiders referee still having a word.
I mean, yeah, he's probably caught him a fraction off the ground, hasn't he, to be fair, but then he's rushed in, and it was almost as if he's expecting players to fly in again, so he's like, I'm going to get there before anybody else does.
Rafiti looks a feisty player, doesn't he?
He does.
And of course he's South Seas, so he's big, strong, quick, all them things that tend to hurt you in a tackle.
Reminds me of me a little bit, Graham. Raiders now then back in possession, just off their own 40-metre mark. It's still Raiders 6, Workington 0 into the second quarter of this championship opener, this Cumbrian derby here at a wet and rainy. Well, it's not so rainy anymore, but it's still damp and miserable here at Craven Park. As the Raiders within 40 now then. Good tackle. Manny Costello plays this one out. Running at the line is Josh Wood. Josh Wood's found a little bit of space there. He's almost made 20 metres on that burst. Great play by the Raiders hooker. And now his referee has once again indicated back to 1. Raiders within 20. Making some space down that left-hand side. Moving in within the 10 now with the captain, Ryan Johnston. 5 tackles to go now, moving towards the posts. Big tackle that time, brought in from the Town defence, as Raiders have got plenty of options on both the left and right side. They're going to go down this left side. Fast hands here. It was trying to find a last-minute ball out to T. Ritson from the hand of Luke Broadbent, but he's just been interfered with almost, and he's just lost that ball, and once again, another knock-on.
It was a great defensive read, to be honest, by Zaringalia. I mean, it was all or nothing. Had they been able to slip the ball, it was a try, but Galea put himself right in harm's way, didn't he, and disrupted it.
I do think sometimes the Raiders there, when they're in them positions, should be hitting the line a little bit more and taking the ball into space, whereas you could see the intent, it was to get to the winger. and it just caught him out. And like you say, Rafiki made a great read and tagged him, ball and all.
Do you think that there's the potential for Barrow to carry that ball just a fraction of a second longer?
Yeah. So it's something that it's not a criticism. It's just when you've seen other teams that have come here in the Championship over the last 3 or 4 years, they have big centres, big second rows, and they hit the space. And they hit the space with the ball. The ball carrier finds them with the ball and kind of makes a decision for them. Yeah, I'd just like to see him do that a little bit more.
So Workington still in possession again, still finding the going tough. They're trying to play a little bit of rugby, but they're in completely the wrong area of the field to do so. There was a real interesting offload from Stevie Scully previously in that tackle before he got the ball back and was challenged, and then Callum Farrer's going nowhere, just 25 metres out from his own line in centre field. Phillips slips it right. Carter out the back. Kick comes in. It's a deep one, and Cresswell takes it inside his own 40. Chance for Raiders to attack now.
So Barrow now then almost up, starting this set just off the halfway. Another great field possession wise, another great chance for the Raiders to find their second try. 15 minutes remaining of this first half. It still remains Raiders 6, Town 0.
They're giving away a lot of sets again. Workington Town, to be fair, they're giving another one away there.
Yeah. They're not completing really well. Like you say, the conditions don't help. I'll tell you what the Raiders coaching staff will be happy about this game when they reflect on it. It is muddy, it is wet, and defences are on top, and so far they're dealing with it, and it's a good hit out for them, isn't it, fitness wise? Well, both teams really.
Raiders now then within 10. Ryan Johnston fast hands out to Walker. He's found Tia. Tia's looking for support on his right side, but it was Bowman couldn't quite get into possession. Good defensive coverage by Workington as Barrow now continue moving still towards his right hand side, trying to find some space in that Workington defensive line. Can't find any that time, so they're still going to find themselves in possession just 2 metres away as Barrow now moving towards the post. That's a fantastic ball. It's a fantastic try, and welcome to Barrow for Greg Richards. Raiders double their lead. It's now Barrow 10, Workington 0.
Well, there we had a position where we had a player wide off the ruck, hit the space, ball player hits the ball with the player in the space, untouched. 6 points.
It was a wonderful pass from Brad Walker, that. He threaded the eye of a needle because there was players around, wasn't there, that were moving up to him, and he's threaded that perfectly, and they've scored 2 tries, and I'm probably doing the commentator's curse here, Anta, because last season, around the middle of the field, they were particularly strong, Workington, and yet that's where they've been breached, around that middle by 2 very experienced ex-Super League forwards.
Yeah. I mean, that's something they've probably worked on in training, to hit. There's probably 1 or 2 different players that they can hit on that same play, and it's just which one's in the best option. And what you're relying on is your halfbacks to pick the best option.
Lucas Castle will be coming onto the field for Workington. He's waiting around the halfway line. I thought he was after some of Barrow's water then.
Do you know what? The interchange happened. I didn't even see Greg Richards come on to make his Barrow debut, and it must have only been his first, maybe second touch of the ball in Raiders colours, and he's gone straight over with that high pass. He just leaped through the air like a salmon to take that ball, diving over the line. And you can tell when you make your interchanges now, because it looks like Jared Stacks just walked out of a shower straight onto the field compared to all of his teammates around him. I love it. I keep saying it. Summer rugby.
And Walker's tagged on those extras, by the way, so it's 12 points to 0 to the Raiders.
2 tries in 10 minutes. Give the Raiders that 12 points to 0 advantage. Brad Walker, 100%.
I think Workington will be glad to get to half time here and just have a regather and a bit of refreshment and come out ready. And I think they'll make a game of it second half. I don't think Barrow will run away with it unless they get 2 quick tries or something like that after half time.
When they have had a couple of chances inside the 20 metre line, they've looked a bit sparky, Workington, but they've just not been down there long enough. And unfortunately, as they'll find in the Championship, you can't hold on to players longer. So they're giving away quite a few set
It'd
repeats.
be interesting to know what the penalty count is.
Well, Workington have come here and they've told Barrow, if you're going to earn it, you've got to earn it on your terms. And that is exactly what they're doing now. 12 minutes to go until half time. It's Barrow Raiders 12, it's Workington 0. Barrow back on the attack.
I think the Raiders' completion rate, I'd take a guess, probably up round about 85%.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, to be honest, Graham. It's been very, very good and controlled with the way that they've held on to possession.
And Workington, likewise, is probably round 70. You know, that equates to maybe an extra 30, 40 tackles, you know, the squad's had to make, which takes it out of you.
So Workington are back in possession, but once again they're looking a long way upfield. They're 10 metres away from their own line, and even Rio Corkill this time can't make further meterage. Looking to get himself involved is Lucas Castle, but the ball goes the opposite way to Zarin Galea.
We haven't heard too much of Galea this afternoon.
I think they've also kept kicking down the middle of the field, so rather than into the, and they've not. Let's be honest, it's not a day for wingers generally,
No.
is it? You know, so I don't think we will be mentioning them unless there's an overlap created, which the Workington are trying to do now.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a great little slip pass from Fulton out to Durham.
Ooh, I was just keeping an eye on them two. They're coming together once again.
It's a good clash between the two of them. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. Kick comes in on the last tackle from Carter. That's a good kick. It goes in behind Cresswell, gives him a little bit of work to do inside his own 20, and he does it well.
Oh, he's a bit of a uncharacteristic pass there from Luke Cresswell, just in front of his own 10. He was trying to find the speed to T. Ritson, but just like Dave alongside me was saying, it's not a day, really, conditions-wise, for the speedsters, as it comes to another one of the wingers who's took a massive hit there. And you do wonder sometimes, you know, you see these coming together of players in these Cumbrian derbies. There probably are going to be mutual friends between them. I wonder if they text on WhatsApp and say, right, I'm going to get you.
Put it like this, I bet there was four wingers on that pitch this morning, all hit the snooze button when their alarms went off.
Raiders now then taking this one out towards this left-hand side, where we almost seen another taste there of T. Ritson, but it's going to be Broadbent that brings that ball back onto the inside. Raiders on the halfway line, bringing this ball up towards this right side now then, as King shrugs off one, tries to shrug another one off. He keeps moving forward, does the loose forward this afternoon, inside the 40. It's now last tackle, still Raiders 12, Workington 0. Josh Wood gets this one out to Walker. He's grubbered that one along the floor. He's going to find touch just shy of the try line. Another great kick from Walker.
Yeah, that's just controlling the game. That's just taking this thing out. I think there lies the difference in the two teams in the first half. Bullock and King have just had that extra strength, haven't they, to carry that ball forward, keep hold of it, drag defenders in, tire the defence out, and it's paid off. Again, because they've had more chances to do that.
In a lot of ways, it's like the perfect start to a half as far as Barrow were concerned. They've kept it simple. They've not overplayed, have they, too many times? I know there's probably once or twice where they have tried to get it out to T. Ritson's wing and it's not quite reached him, and that's more, thank goodness, from a Workington Town point of view, I feel, you know. But it's Town are in position 12 metres away from their own line again. I feel like I've said this quite a lot. Jake Bradley, nice to see him back. He got injured in the middle of last season, so he's making his comeback this afternoon, and he rumbles his way for a 10-metre gain, but still they're inside their own half. Slip pass, and then it's lost by Rafiti.
Play continues. For a second there, I thought it was a bit of a coming together, but T. Ritson running sideways, trying to find that space. Can't quite get through. It's a good tackle made. Ritson is dropped 30 metres out. The referee has now stopped play. He's going to pull it back, is he?
Has he decided that there's no advantage or something? Has there been a knock on?
He's going to go back for the knock on.
Okay.
I think if I was a player that ilk of, like say, T. Ritson or Bowman on this wing here, you know, I'd be starting to track these second rowers and big forwards like King, just coming up 30 metres in there off the touch if they get a ball free, because in these conditions, you know, a quick player is always going to move quicker than a bigger, slower player, aren't they?
Scrum down then. Head and feed to the home team. Barrow Raiders 12 points to 0 in the final 10 minutes of this opening half on this opening day of the championship season. Cumbrian derby. What a way to start after a Christmas break, as now the referee blows the whistle once more, and a penalty count against Workington isn't looking too nice at the moment. There's going to be a lot of
believe it or not, it's only 3-0 in penalties.
Oh, is it?
You know, but as I say, they've had a lot of the set restarts as well. So you chuck 3 or 4 in those, which we've had, and that's where a lot of this pressure has come from.
And of course, the set restarts have been on their own line.
They have,
You know, and it's kept them defending for, would you say, 10 minutes in actual time?
Definitely.
It's a long time to be tackling.
Raiders now then just hanging on to that ball with Walker as Luke Cresswell takes possession and takes it inside the 10 metres, as now the referee has once again blown his whistle.
He'll probably put this over. I won't be surprised. Well, just to see the, start and manage the game.
Stevie Ray's running on with the kicking cone. I say hobbling on, should I say? As the Reverend brings the cone now, it's going to give them that 3-score advantage. As Brad Walker, right in between the posts, is going to get a 2-pointer as easy as you like in just a few moments here, and it still makes me laugh when a player comes onto the field. I can definitely confirm that Charlie Emsley has come onto the pitch for Barrow Raiders.
Yeah, told you that 10 minutes ago.
I know, but he's still clean. Maybe if you don't put the effort in, you're going to be walking off clean now. I think that's the problem, isn't it? You're going to get found out when the dressing rooms come half time.
His arm padding's got a bit messy though, so he's obviously tackled somebody.
He's must have done something. Yeah, we'll let him off for that one. For the former Milan man, Scottish international, of course, Charlie Emsley.
Tough as teak.
Great lad as well.
Yeah, he is. Top boy.
4th season now in this semi-professional setup for Charlie Emsley.
Sorry, did you know that in Milan, we were aware that he has his own song? They sing a song about Charlie Emsley.
Is it clean enough to sing on the BBC radio? No, not yet. Another 2 points in the back then for the Raiders. Brad Walker 100% with that boot this afternoon. It's now extended the scoreline here in this Cumbrian derby. It's Barrow Raiders 14, Workington Town 0. We've got 6 minutes to go until half time. And what's projected to be an incredible start, an incredible few weeks for the Raiders, is going exactly to plan. I think Paul Crary would like to be towards the, or if not in, the top 4 of the Championship season over the next month. With obviously everything that's going on at Salford, that's taken advantage of that fixture. Then of course Challenge Cup weekend, followed by Whitehaven, another team he believes we can pick up 2 points with, and be a great start for the Championship season for the Raiders. And so far so good. 5 minutes to go until half time. 14 points to 0 to the Raiders here. Tries in the 16th minute from Joe Bullock, and then 10 minutes later on his debut for Greg Richards, former Super League man, of course, back in his hometown, as now Barrow get that one out to, it's definitely Charlie Emsley, up towards the 40-metre mark. I won't be definitely confirming that if he has a few more runs. The referee now, once again, blowing up against Town.
It's now 5 penalties, this.
I'm just trying to see if there's a little bit of blue and white underneath that red referee shirt there. I don't think the Workington fans are too happy.
I say.
I think he's from Yorkshire anyway, Matty, isn't it?
So Raiders now then, with the man that definitely is Charlie Emsley, up towards the 20-metre mark. Another tackle for the Scottish international, as now Raiders out towards this left side, moving it back at a good angle towards the post, almost breaking free. Now find themselves within 10 as Josh Wood moves out towards the left. Raiders still pushing towards that try line. I'm going to have to zoom in on this camera lens in front of me because I ain't got a clue some of these players are in possession because it's so muddy out there. As Barrow now then within 10 metres, Brad Walker steps on the referee. Crossing, obstruction. Raiders will not play on. It was almost a walk-in try for Orchard as well, but he's pulled that one back, and now Ryan Johnston needs to calm down slightly here.
Yeah, there was definitely someone trailing on the inside, which did take a Workington defender out. They've got this penalty, and have kicked their way outside of the 20-metre line.
See that?
I missed that one, Graham. What was that?
A spectator about the ball bounced off the roof, just to explain that, and then a spectator headed it back on the pitch right into the arms of the player. Best pass he've had all afternoon, he said.
So, Workington in possession, 30 metres from their own line now. Phillips dummies to the right, brings it to the left. Lawther is there with another carry. Finds the going tough as that line speed once again from Barrow, really impressive.
He's got through a ton of work, hasn't he?
He has,
in his first
yeah.
half.
There is Carter dropping the ball off, looking for the running of Bradley. Bradley tackled just over that 30-metre line. Can Town get themselves forward? Brandon Lee dummies to a couple of times, then passes the ball out. It's then kicked over the top, looking for distance. It'll bounce and bobble, doesn't find the touchline. Cresswell just drops on it, thankfully, just on his own 20.
So Raiders now then, back in possession. Going down the short side there. Dangerous line to run, but play continues. Bouncing off a couple of tackles before the heavy hits finally came in completing that one. Raiders moved back a couple of metres on that first drive in the set. 2 minutes to go until half-time. You're listening to BBC Radio Cumbria Sport when it's Barrow Raiders 14, Workington Town 0. Great feisty opening in some terrible muddy conditions here. The rain has eased off, but I think it's already done its damage on this pitch. The groundsman, Mr. Clark, listening in this afternoon. You're going to have your work cut out this week, my friend. Big tackle made on Ryan King, who's screaming at the referee for a penalty there. Not given. It's fifth and last. Josh Wood tries to find a way through. Opted for the tackle rather than the kick. Strange decision that time. Not too sure if he was aware of it.
I wonder whether he just lost count there, to be honest. I want to do a big up here, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, Graham. King's been marvellous for Barrow. He's head and shoulders player of the match for me.
He's tough and strong, and he looks to get the ball free, and that's what he was starting to do in the last 5 metres of the field on their Workington's line before, and you can see there every time. If I was an halfback, I'd be following him everywhere he's going.
So Town back in possession on the halfway line through this new slimline Grant Reid, who makes some good metres now, trying to spread the ball. Was that not an obstruction? They've got into an opening. Corkill slips it out to Zarin Gallier. He's run out of space. Parried the ball up in the air from a kick. They'll get a penalty here with Workington, by the way.
Yep.
Was there an obstruction in the background? I know that Zarin Gallier was getting really hemmed in towards that touchline, so he was left with no other option really but to kick it. And in the last minute of this first half, they'll have a penalty, the third penalty of the half. And they're tapping it, and it's in the arms of Lucas Castle. Very impressive performer last season, was the Irish international on the edge of the 20-metre line, picked up by Phillips. Phillips runs across dummies once and hands it on to Carter. Carter plays at the front man, which is Evan Lawther, who for me has been really impressive on his Workington debut this afternoon. 12 metres out from the line. Can they get forward? Donaghy in field, finds Carter. Carter back over his shoulder. Looks for Lucas Castle. This time the defence lined him up though, and he'll play it 11 metres out. Phillips slips the ball for Grant Reid. He barrels his way through the middle, and he's just held up short of the line. Some magnificent try-line defence from Barrow yet again. Looking for a quicker play the ball. The hooter sounds. The kick comes in from Carter. There's a real scramble. Barrow have got hold of it right at the end. They ended up where it was played at off the boot and picked up on the 20-metre line by Barrow, and they navigate their way to a 14-0 advantage at half-time.
Yeah, the half-time hooter. I don't know if you heard it. It just went off in front of us here. It is half-time at Craven Park. It's Barrow Raiders 14, Workington Town 0. 2 tries, one from Joe Bullock, one from Greg Richards. It's the forwards racking up the points. Brad Walker with them successfully converting both with a 2-point penalty just before the half-time hooter that you may or may not have heard. Graham Dale, summarise that one if you will.
Well, it was a do-or-die first half for Workington. You know, they tried so hard to repel the Raiders, who had more possession. They're narrowly losing the penalties. The Raiders got the points on the board, like you said, the 14 points. But something just interesting there, this Grant Reid that's just come on, he offers something different for Workington in that he's a big, strong, rangy player. You look there and he nearly strode over and through the tackles. So it'll be interesting to see in the second half what type of start Workington get. You know, they need to just control what they can. You know, their sets, make a good start, get a kick downfield, try and force some mistakes off the Raiders, and just try and turn it around a little bit. What's happened in the first half? Whereas the Raiders, they've come out, they'll have a high completion rate. You know, they've been really disciplined, they've done really well. There's been a couple of skirmishes, but you would expect that. And like you say, I'm sure the coaching staff will be saying to the Raiders more of the same. They might, Crester's like he analyses everything, and he'll be looking at things that he's seen that they can improve on. You know, so what's happened in the first half will be just that. I said, and they'll go out second half and work on the second half plan.
And certainly from a Workington point of view, for me, there is hope at the end of the tunnel, you know, by all accounts. This is against an established Championship side. You know, Barrow have been they're about pushing for playoffs the last couple of years. They'll be expecting to do so again. For Workington, they've got to get up to speed. There's a few things in there which I'm sure when John T. Garley analyses it, he'll be thinking, yeah, you've just given them an extra leg up into the game at times. You know, the sin binning was a little bit silly, giving away the sets after sets after sets. Silly. Just cut that out, and you're on more of a level playing field. Great first half performance from Barrow, by the way. I don't want to take anything away from them. Impressed with Evan Lawther and his opening gambit in a Workington jersey. Alex Donaghy's been thereabouts like I expected. I want to see more from Brandon Lee. Hopefully he doesn't get another card, and I hope there's a bit more attacking intensity as far as Workington are concerned in the second half. But lots to play for. 14-0.
14-0 it is. Well, Barrow have asked the questions and the Raiders faithful have enjoyed the answers. It might be a bit dark and dingy here at Craven Park, but there's definitely a little bit of daylight between the two teams. We'll be back in around about 10 minutes time, so don't go anywhere. Half time here, Raiders 14, Workington 0.
BBC Radio Cumbria Sport.
Looking for some early points then as Johnny Force sweeps that ball to the left, and he's been intercepted by T. Ritson, and T. Ritson picks it up on the 20, and you know what that means. It's time to take your jackets, collect your suitcase and board the Ritson Express. Infield, it comes to Scully, nice ball to Stevenson, and Stevenson rubs his way over the line, no one in front of him, not a glove laid on him. Superb work from Scully. Workington Town have advanced to score. It's 10 points to Moore with the game to come.
Goes left now into the hands of Tyra. Tyra looked to go left. He's trying to spin round. It back inside to Jay Wetherall. And Wetherall's the man that's going to be taken down. The Whitehaven fullback will play this 2 metres out. Goes left into the hands of Rio McQuinston. And he's going to get his first try in a Whitehaven shirt. He's the former Millen man. Back in after that knee injury, which has kept him out for a good few number of weeks.
A massive opportunity for Raiders to take an early lead here, going down the short side once again. Can't find a space this time through that strong Toulouse defence. As the ball now comes out towards this right-hand side, swinging it deep towards Cresswell. Cresswell finds a looping ball over the top, and the Raiders are going to be in the corner, are they? The referee takes a look, and it's going to be the first try of the afternoon.
Oh, it's just opened up for Stevenson. Can he power in? Oh, he's 2 metres out. I thought for a second he got a bit of daylight there. So did he. Now it comes left. Weir out to Carter. Carter taking them all on. He's over the line. He's got the ball down. That's superb from Carter. I don't know how he managed to twist his way over, but certainly he has done. And that's the response that Workington Town were looking for.
Comes right into the hands of Holgate. Holgate looking for a hat-trick potentially. He's going to be wrapped up. It's taken 4 of them to get him anywhere near the ground, and they're still not able to. Great strength shown there. Collins comes left to Brad Brennan. Brennan gets the ball down, does Brad Brennan. Spun out to the tackle, did the experienced prop forward. It's Whitehaven's 3rd try of the second half.
Raiders now then, getting the offloads away. Find themselves breaking through on the halfway mark. This is a good ball over the top to Charlie Emsley. Charlie Emsley's got support. He's got support from Cresswell. Cresswell looking towards the corner. He's going to laugh second offload away to Bowman. Can Bowman do it again? And he has done it again. Bowman's doubled it for the Raiders. We've got 27 minutes on the clock, and it's Toulouse 0. It's Barrow 10, and it just gets better and better and better.
Eventually he'll play it to Doran. Doran spins it into the hands of Weir. Weir across to Carter. Carter releases it immediately to Cooper Howlett. Howlett 5 metres out from the line, just on this left-hand side of the field. They'll angle it down this side again with Carter. Long ball out to Eccleston. Eccleston's unmarked. That was a superb pass from Carter. That was easy as you like for Eccleston. There was nobody in front of him. The defence was all caught ball watching in the end, weren't they?
Collins comes right into the hands of DST, finds Cam Brown, now finds Conor Holliday. Holliday's through the gap, back inside then Ellison Holgate. It's his 2nd try of the afternoon for Ellison Holgate. It's his 5th of the season, and Whitehaven extend their lead once more. Fantastic play there.
He hasn't heard the call, so play continues. Cresta wanted the 2. Raiders are going to go for the try. It comes out towards this right-hand side. Raiders are going to get the try. That's the try they were after. They went against the coach's call. And now with 12 minutes on the board, Barrow retain the lead once again. It's Bartley 20. It's Barrow 22. This is incredible finish to this game.
Here's Phillips probing, putting the ball right. He drops it back over his shoulder, does Weir to Howlett. Howlett's giving back to the left, gets through 2 challenges. He's just held up shy of the line over on the left hand side of the field. Phillips brings it right again. Here's Castle. Castle! Can he stretch out? He's got it down. 2 tries in 2 games for Lucas Castle. Brilliant response from Workington Town, and he forces his way directly under the post, and that try comes 24 minutes in.
Collins in there, look to go and find Connor Holliday. Pass was probably back left. Holliday's hauled down short. 5 and last, they're a metre out here at Whitehaven. Collins now finds DST. Daniel Spencer-Tonks crashes over and makes up for that error in terms of getting Simbin in the first half. He scores his 6th ever try in a Whitehaven shirt, the first in his second spell. Does Daniel Spencer-Tonks. Whitehaven extend their lead.
It's now 5th and last. Raiders within 10 metres. Josh Wood turns towards his left side to find Walker out the back to Johnston. Johnston to Cresswell. Tip on to T. To Ritson! T. Ritson's done it! All aboard the Ritson Express!
Brennan finds Tyra, finds Jay Wetherill, finds Biggerdyke. Biggerdyke gets it. Oh, he's got the ball down there, is even Biggerdyke. Yep. Initially thought he'd run out of the room. He was looking for Max Anderson-Muir. I don't think he knew where the try line was, but he's just got his arm out, put the ball down, and Ethan Biggerdyke gets his 4th try of the season.
Out towards Johnston, who finds King. King finds a short ball to Greenwood, who can't quite find the way towards the post. He's 5 metres away from the line. Boots come off. Ryan King, can he find a way over the line? He can! Ryan King has given Raiders the lead in front of the Raiders faithful.
Big carry from Kai Graham up towards the 30-metre line. He'll play it to Phillips. Phillips will turn it right to Weir. Weir dabs it over the top. Maybe he's had a shout. He's chasing it himself. There's a good 2 or 3 players, but they've all missed it. And Weir's picked it up. And Weir has dived over. Well, I was thinking, what was he doing kicking so early in the set? And he's chased after it, and he's made 3 Dewsbury Rams players all question themselves. The ball just bounced up. There was hands galore, and his touch was the crucial one.
Holgate in a dummy half, look to go down that short side and find Chris Taylor once more. Taylor is through the gap on that right hand side, hasn't got anyone in support at the moment. Gets it, throws it inside Ellison Holgate. Holgate should have the speed. He has got the speed at Ellison Holgate. Fantastic work going down that right hand side edge initially. Comes from Chris Taylor. The ball then inside to Holgate. He was looking for support, was able to take it himself, was the former Waffrow Hornet. He scores what is his 4th try in a Whitehaven shirt, puts it on down underneath the sticks. Less than 5 minutes gone. It is Whitehaven 4, Gould 0.
Doncaster are setting up some shape on this last tackle, and again Robertson giving Akers a time to get that kick away. Not the greatest of kicks, and it's going to be Bullman that collects that ball. He's got a little bit of space if he can get round him. Bullman's away. Can Bullman be caught? Bullman might not be caught here. Bullman is going to go 100 metres downfield. He's got 5 to go. Can he find the line? Yes. He can find the line. Just finds the line. The referee needs to catch over here. The touch judge just had a look. He said it's perfectly fine. Andy Bullman's going to go over.
Every week, follow the fortunes of Barrow Raiders, Whitehaven and Workington Town.
It's over the line. He's got the ball down. That's superb from Carter.
Exclusive full-match online rugby league commentary.
Tied open to get a kick in behind. And Real Pinsley he can't crack the ball, but there's a Whitehaven man that can.
Listen on the BBC Sport website at bbc.co.uk/rugby league and look for the live rugby league commentaries link.
T. Ritson, oh my giddy aunt! T. Ritson's done it again. That's one of the greatest tries you'll ever see in this competition.
Live Cumbrian Rugby League on BBC Sport.
I cannot believe what I am seeing here.
BBC Radio Cumbria.
Mike Zeller at breakfast.
Fire crews in Penrith. They were sent to rescue a sheep and 3 lambs. Where were they? Stuck in a swamp somewhere or something? No, they were stuck on the roof of a 2-storey house in the town.
It was a high-stakes rescue. Oh, you're just jealous, Mike. You're just jealous you didn't come up with that.
Bah, humbug. Come on.
Well, welcome back for live second half coverage here. It's the Championship opening weekend, match day 1, and here at Craven Park it's Barrow Raiders taking on their Cumbrian neighbours, Workington Town. And I would say noisy neighbours, but they need to pick up that noise if they're going to get anything out of the next 40 minutes. It's currently Raiders 14, Workington Town 0. It has definitely been somewhat of a spirited performance by this Workington team, a team that have been building over the last few years. Let's not forget that. Pretty much from the ground up, find themselves back in this newly formed championship against a well-established championship team in Barrow Raiders, who on paper look strong and look ready for, well, I say top 10 finish now for them playoffs, a structure we are not going to discuss on week 1 of Championship weekend. We will definitely come back and readdress it, though.
I'm quite glad because, I've been trying to get my head round it ever since it was announced, and my PhD in maths doesn't go that far.
I'm Dan Payne, Graham Dale and Dave Parkinson, both either side of me as I stand like a rose in between 2 thorns. I'm going to talk you all the way through this second half.
So Workington first use of possession in this second half, and it's Grant Reid with the first hit up just to the edge of the 20-metre line. Oh, and then it's juggled there by Newman Rafiti. Rafiti just tackled in behind that 20-metre line now. Great work by this Barrow defence again. It's almost like rinse and repeat as far as this defence from Barrow is concerned. Town looking to attack from dummy half. It's slipped out to Carter. Carter finds some support from Donaghy. Then it's out further wide. Good tackle coming in on that side, however, on Spencer Fulton. Fulton gets up and plays it. He comes back in field, looking for the run of Evan Lawther. Lawther up towards the halfway line. They've run through their allotted set of 6 tackles here, though, Workington, and will kick the ball away on the last tackle. It's high and it's hanging, and it's from Carter, and it's well taken.
Well taken indeed by the Raiders fullback Luke Cresswell. First set completed. Has the rain started again? Yeah, it has. It started to come down here in South Cumbria. Was Barrow now with T. Ritson, who's desperate to try and get more of the ball. It's like Dave said earlier on, it's not a day for wingers, so they are going to come in and act as prop forwards just so they can see that ball. It's definitely a game for the forwards this afternoon on this muddy, horrendous conditions. Put my teeth back in as Barrow now then move up towards the 40-metre mark, moving backwards. And again, it might be 14 points to 0, but sometimes you've got to give credit to this Workington defence, haven't you? They've picked up some good shit. They're putting some massive tackles and they're keeping Barrow back in their own half once again.
It's Grant Reid again as well. I know, Graham, you picked him out earlier in the first half, didn't you? But he's certainly come up with the defensive duties. However,
going down this left side as Broadbent cuts back into the middle. It is last tackle. He's being told by his teammates to kick it over the top. He's found some space. He's kicked it high. He hasn't kicked it very long, and Workington are going to have a good field position here.
Yeah, well taken by Oscar Doran, who then charged forward and made about 15 metres, ball in hand. He'll now play it around about that 40-metre line, so it's a good place to start an attack from. Can they get beyond halfway? Well, they have done, but they've lost the ball under the pressure of the tackle. An error there from Oscar Doran, and he just looks up and he says, why am I playing rugby like this? I'm a winger. I should be getting the ball when it's nice and dry, not when it's wet.
He wasn't happy this morning when he got here and they told him he can't wear his dinner jacket.
Well, to be honest, as this game goes on, I think for the first half I probably expected a few more handling errors, so credit where it's due. It could have been a lot worse. I think it is going to get worse. I almost said worse, I didn't sound like one of my children. But it is a scrum down in a muddy puddle, literally in the middle of the field, out towards this right-hand side as Curtis Tier.
I think we alluded to it in the first half, or the Raiders they've been more controlled and they've just looked after the ball more. There's a way of playing in these conditions to protect the ball, and the Raiders seem to have, in the first half, sort of mastered that well as they come across right to left.
Going down this left-hand side, and with Broadbent, who cuts back inside. He's found a big bit of space. He keeps stepping over towards the right, where he's going to be met by I was going to say 3 white Workington shirts then, but they are far from white this afternoon. Good luck to the kit man after today's match, as Josh Wood now gets this one out to Johnston, who props that one up as I think it's Charlie Emsley. 10 metres out now then from the try line. Josh Wood looking at his options, both left and right, opts to go towards this right-hand side where Ryan Johnston keeps sweeping this one out towards the right edge. Can Raiders get the overlap? Just trying to cut back into the inside. No, Workington defence have done extremely well to scramble over there and hold up on their line. It's now 5th and last. Raiders looking to dart through, find some space. It's going to be held up over the line on the last tackle, though. Great defence once again from Town.
Very organised, and it wasn't for want of trying from Barrow. I thought it was pretty good, that set, and the way that they moved that ball. And instead, 10 metres away from their own line, Workington will retake possession. It was a bit of a lofty pass that for Corkill, and as soon as he took it, there was tacklers amongst his ribs.
This is where they're going to find it really hard. Both teams get off their own old try line and down the field and get the kick away to such a point where they're not going to be on their own line again.
It was a solid run from Fulton. Now Doran tackles as he's tried to bring the ball back on the infield. About 15 metres in from touch. Long ball to Carter. Carter throws a dummy. Tell you what, though, he's not going to get much change out of that that defence. There was definitely no gaps or anybody who was buying that dummy there. Phillips moves it to his right to Grant Reid. Reid, good strong surge again to the 30-metre line. They've run through the set of 6 tackles. Ball is into the arms of Carter. He hammers the ball downfield. It's a good kick, this, given the conditions, and it'll stop dead in its tracks about 12 metres out from the line.
He's got plenty of distance on these kicks, hasn't he? You know, he's going to kill Graham because he loves Jake Carter. He's definitely got a crush on him. But now he's in the wrong coloured shirt, Graham. But what? Am I saying the wrong things here, Graham?
Yeah, you are, actually. I'm objective, Dan, as ever. Far be it from me. I may know the amateur club of his persuasion, but yeah, he's put long, good raking kicks in, and what they're hoping for is they can try and get up the field and then force this mistake now from the Raiders to get some good ball position of themselves.
Ryan King now then, who's been an outstanding afternoon, just like Dave said earlier on, takes the Raiders up towards the halfway. Josh Wood, we're going to see much more of this, attacking the line from the Raiders hooker. I'm told by Paul Crary from him this season. It's 5th and last now. Raiders 40 away. It's going to be a little dink over the top. Testing Workington in defence, but he's taken well, and they're going to start once again off their own 20.
Yeah, it was Doran again in off his wing to take that ball, pluck it from the air and run it to the edge of that 20-metre line. Now Donaghy at dummy half, sending the ball left to Fulton. Spencer Fulton runs like he's got a beeline exactly for Curtis Tier. The two of them clashed more than one occasion in the first half. Once again, it's a strong surge from Evan Lawther.
Great run.
Coming through the middle, really bursting through, getting over the 40-metre lines. Now they're picking up the pace of this set of 6 as Carter throws a dummy, surging into the backfield. Stop 40 metres away from the Raiders line. Is it building here for Town? Decent pass into the middle. Released by the forwards, I think it was Castle onto Grant Reid. Again, very difficult to pick out these numbers of the middlemen in particular. Ball to the left hand side, kick comes in from Carter, hoists it. It's an interesting one. Well taken, Bullman.
Taken once again by Bullman, shifted in towards the middle of the field there. He's tackled just shy of the 20-metre mark. Almost 7 minutes played here of this second half, and the referee has blew up his whistle. Once again penalising Workington Town. The scoreline still Raiders 14, Workington 0. Live here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport.
That's a killer for Workington, that, because they had a really good set there. They got the ball, they shifted it up really well, again through Grant and Evan Lawther. I think them two are critical to Workington for the rest of this game. You know, if they can build on what them two guys are ploughing into this Raiders defence and just build on it and see the sets out more and just try and get some good field position.
So Raiders now then, after that penalty, back in attack, up towards the halfway mark now. Good offload away, finds Ryan King wearing the skull cap this afternoon. Up 40 metres out now then. That's every tackle comes with a bit of a slide afterwards, just give you an idea of the conditions here at the Northern Competition Stadium, known by some, known by many as Craven Park. Raiders 14, Workington Town 0. Barrow shifting this one out towards the right-hand side as Johnston almost slips, gets a good ball away. Raiders find some space. They find an offload. The ball goes through. Going to be chased down. But good pressure from the Workington Town defence. Kick that one dead. Ready for a drop goal restart.
Wow, I mean, it was really good play, that, wasn't it, from Barrow?
And surprising. You know, and again, they've usually put the foot to ball and just dribbled it towards the line, and you've either got to kick it dead, pick it up and return it. In these conditions, you're going to kick it dead and play safe, aren't you? But they get the Barrow Raiders have got another set of 6. Just looking at somebody injured there.
Yeah, somebody's. I can't quite tell who it is, but they're checking out his ribs, that's for sure.
I don't even know what team he's on.
You're all right. The other 1,000 people in the ground can't tell who it is, not by looking at his number.
I think that's the Raiders physio, so I'm going to guess it's a Raiders player. I'm completely well off the mark.
No, it is a Workington player, actually, yeah.
That's how bad I am. Even the physios look the same now. So, yeah, it's going to be back onto his feet.
Was it Evan Lawther? I think it was. He's gone into where Evan Lawther had been defending anyway. So
this is definitely tested. I don't think, forgetting the glasses, I don't think that matters anymore. I can just see muddy figures.
It's mud and mud, isn't it?
It is. As Broadbent then collects that one on his 30-metre mark from that resulting dropout. And he's not gained too many yards there, going laterally across the pitch as Raiders get the offload away, moving towards the 20-metre mark. I will try and let you know who is in possession whenever I can tell who it is, because these shirts are getting a little bit ridiculous now. The referee is making him play that ball again that time. I think it's Greg Richards.
Yeah.
Just see the 1 and the 6 there, just as
which is a good one.
Walker now then takes that one through. Is it Walker? Is it Robson?
It's Ellis Robson.
It's Ellis Robson. I'm getting there. It's a Raiders player. Raiders are within 10. Josh Wood now out towards this right-hand side. Quick hands from Johnston. Over the top. Oh, and it's just been lost at the last second by Curtis Tier. He was looking to go in for the Raiders' third try of the afternoon, but possession is lost. Regained by Workington over on that far right-hand side.
I'm going to say brilliant tackle from Spencer Fulton. I mean, this was what he was earmarking last year, and he kept quite a few vastly experienced centres in League One in his pocket. I think it's been a bit more feisty between him and Tia this afternoon, but that was a brilliant read. Fantastic, because as you were saying, it was a walking try otherwise.
Oh, definitely.
So
I think Curtis might have had it scored before he actually caught it as well.
So Workington looking to take possession from this scrum. Carter to feed it. Standing just down this right side is Rio Corkill. Corkill makes it just up behind his own 10-metre mark. Phillips moves into dummy half. Uses Zarin Galea. We are used to mentioning him far more in commentary as a fullback, but with Donaghy, this is where it's going to be interesting this season, as it's taken down this right side again by Corkill. Phillips, mud from ear to ear, sends it into the middle to Lee, and then Grant Reid does well to make more yardage on a rugby field backwards than I ever could going forwards, and he's over that 30-metre line, passed into the middle. Lucas Castle plays it out to Carter. Carter then further wide to Donaghy. Donaghy all challenged though, all wrapped up on the halfway line, and once again they've got through the set of 6 in very, very quickly of Workington. Into the arms of Carter. Cultured kick forward again. And a good take from Cresswell. I was going to say.
Big ooh from the crowd.
Oh, he was juggling with that one, but he's turned his back to possession. Wise head there from the Raiders vice-captain, as Barrow now then playing this one off their own, well, just past their own 30-metre mark now, with a big tackle made by Town. Is going down the short side, gets that one off to Curtis Tier, who sludges his way up towards the 40-metre mark. He went in white there and he came out brown, I think. We got another fresh set. It looks like a star has come onto the field, as Ellis Archer, as clean as anything, stands out like a sore thumb, let me tell you. As Raiders now then continue with the skull cap of Ryan King. Just to double check it wasn't Luke Cresswell, but you can tell by the size of his back that was Ryan King, the loose forward there, as Barrow now then shifting this one once again out towards this left side. It's a step back in the middle by Robson. Raiders within 30. I hope they get this ball to Archer, so I know who's definitely attacking the line. as Raiders move within 20. I look towards my screen to see if I can get a better idea of the numbers on the back of the shirt as crossfield kick by Johnston. Didn't quite get all of it. It's come out to Walker. Back to Johnston. Johnston is tackled. The ball has come loose. Back in Raiders' possession. It's still going to be... It's not a fresh set yet, is it? No, it's not. So Raiders still moving down towards that 10-metre mark. They've still got a few tackles remaining here. As Brad Walker picks up the ball, shifts that one back towards the left side now. Now it's fifth and last. Raiders find themselves within 5 metres, looking for their third and possibly the killer try. Definitely Ellis Archer gets the ball out towards Johnston, over the top, trying to find the Raiders winger, but he just couldn't get enough grip on the pass. It was a slow moving ball out towards that left side. Workington shuffled over quick enough to complete the tackle. It still remains Raiders 14, Workington 0.
Laboured that last play there. I think they should, rather than just put a floated pass like that, they should have put a good end of set kick on the floor, on the touch, on the try line, tried to go for a repeat set. Now they just give a penalty away, I think.
Yeah, it was a high tackle on Zarin Galea, so it is going to be a Workington penalty just 10 metres away from their own line. It's like manna from heaven, to be honest, because yet again, quite often, every time Workington have got the ball, it's been deep within their own territory, so they've got a chance to make some yardage with the kick, which is funneled into touch by Carter. Tap taken, and here comes Corkill. A little shuffle step from him, makes it just up behind the 40-metre line. Jude Lupton is on. And big Rafiti juggled the ball. Did well to keep hold of it, made some good metres as well over the halfway line. So Lupton, another one of Millam's finest, slips the ball into the middle of the field. Here's Castle, rolled on his back.
Carries a lot of status on that surname, isn't there?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And here it comes in from Corkill. The attack was there, and the ball drifted across to this right-hand side, and it was a little bit too hot to handle as far as Corkill was concerned.
He just took his eye off the ball. He'd actually got control of it as such, but just took his eye off the ball and lost his momentum and grip.
Noticed Rafiti is limping on the field now.
I suppose on a day like this you'd be worried if you had a really clean kit but you'd been on for an hour and a half.
Raiders now then. Do you know what? It's that I only knew that was T. Ritson by the step, his little trademark step that he did there. Even if he had his dyed blonde hair, which he hasn't, I think that'll be game over at the moment. Raiders now then, back in possession. This is kind of grind it out rugby now for the final 25 minutes. It still remains Raiders 14, Workington Town 0. Match day 1 of the Betfred Championship campaign.
I think we can see from the first half it's about getting the field position, and usually if somebody drops the ball and turns it over in their own half, you get the field position, or off the back of penalties.
Good kick towards that left hand corner, held up quite well in these muddy conditions. Workington back in possession.
Zarin Galea it was who chased back to collect it, and once again Rio Corkill with work to do inside his own 20-metre line, and he's just over his own 10 when he gets tackled. Lee slipping the ball in field. Tackle comes in, they're going nowhere. Workington again. It's brilliant defence this from Barrow, really getting the grit between the teeth here. And again, struggling for momentum forward. Look to move into dummy half once more. They'll shuffle across, try and change the point of attack with Castle, who slips the ball out. Carter. It's got a break going down that left-hand side. It's an excellent run over the 40-metre line in towards the 30-metre line. Donaghy to play it. Now it's off to the left. Switch back to this right-hand side with Carter. Carter puts boot on ball. It's a shallow kick. Comes off Barrow Raiders' hands. Rafiti takes it, slips the ball back. There's a player, I believe, caught offside here. So there is going to be a penalty to Barrow Raiders. I was getting excited there for a second. I thought there was something brewing for Workington, but not on this occasion.
Definitely Workington's best passage of play.
I was intrigued to see what they were going to do. They started off, they set up some good shape, didn't they? Back on their own, like 20-30 metre mark. Jake Carter, the instigator, once again, and it looked a little bit in slow motion because of the way that the studs are just sticking into the surface. But as slow as it is for the attack, it's exactly the same for the defenders. But they made it work. They made some good field position, and unfortunately for them, the possession is now gone and it's back in Raiders' hands. But I mean, Graham, once again, you're a man with vast experience. You played the amateur game for many a year. How else can you play when the conditions are like this?
Well, this is exactly that. You see, that expansive play there by Workington just shows if it was a dry pitch on a dry day, they have got attacking options because, you know, underfoot, when it's this slippy, it is a leveller speed-wise. What they haven't been able to contain or break down is Raiders' intensity in defence. You know, added to that, the possession they've thrown away in the first half. Having said that, scoreboard reads 14 points, one converted try, and it's game on.
22 minutes to go until full time here. Raiders find themselves within 10. That's definitely Ellis Archer that takes that ball and is brought down on the 10-metre mark on the last tackle now then. Raiders with Walker trying to grubble that one through, testing the Workington defence. It was a good slide by Cresswell, but it was Workington Town defence that did enough to put that one dead.
That ball dribbled over the line, Workington player puts it dead. It's going to be a repeat set, 30 metres out, first tackle for the Raiders. It's a bombardment that any team, never mind who's here this afternoon, that have to try and keep repelling over and again.
I'm amazed that he found a path for that ball to still bounce on. To be honest, when he kicked it through, we can see here it's almost stopping dead in motion as the ball, as the dropout reaches the 20-metre mark, and it's going to be moved cross field by the captain Ryan Johnston. Still remains Raiders 14, Workington 0. 2 tries in 10 minutes in that first half for Bullock and Richards, both successfully converted by Brad Walker, giving Raiders that advantage, and then it was a 2-point penalty 3 minutes before half time, making the scoreline Raiders 14, Workington 0 as Barrow now then out towards that right side, popping that one off, trying to find a way through, trying to edge towards the line, can't quite find the line though. Play continues, just inches away out towards the right edge. Step in, found the space, found the line, he's found a game-winning try with 20 minutes on the clock. It's now Raiders 18, it's Workington 0, and there's no coming back from here.
Ellis Archer dropped the shoulder and glided through the hole.
To be fair, I think he'll really enjoy that one, will Ellis Archer.
Yep.
He's been at Workington for a couple of seasons, not played that much rugby league, so I think he enjoyed that more than anybody.
Yeah, he just you could see his shape, his body shape when he came onto the ball. He knew he had players outside him. A couple of the Workington defenders were just drifting. They'd have had the body weight on the outside, and he just showed him, dropped his shoulder, and they couldn't get back through in time to stop him. Great try, well crafted.
Well, it's conditions like this that separate the willing from the very, very willing, and that time it was Ellis Archer that was willing to go towards that trial. And what a fantastic step. It was, like you said, Graham, it was smooth, wasn't it? He just glided into position there, didn't he? And, you know, this was a guy, by the way, that I'm sure you might know yourself, Dave, wasn't too sure if he's going to be playing rugby league this year. He set up his little coaching thing, didn't he? Was it a kicking school, I think he was trying to do, just to try and bring in some income. Now he finds himself
personal coaching,
playing Championship rugby, back for his hometown team, and not only that, getting on the try sheet. What a good, great story.
That, isn't it?
Yeah. Great story. Nice to see as well, especially with the Archer surname. It's a massive surname in amateur rugby league, especially around these parts, Graham.
It is, yeah, especially down the Ironpool way. Are the Archers? Chris Archer played down here, didn't he?
Ooh. He did at one point. That's come back off the post, so the 100% record for Brad Walker this afternoon has gone. It's going to remain Barrow Raiders 18, Workington Town 0. But with under 20 minutes to go, the conditions that we see in front of us, just the quality that Raiders have got on the field, it's hard to see any way back now for Workington Town.
I think it's the consistency that's been the difference, and that has allowed to the opportunities to score, and they have took them. They haven't took every opportunity, but they've took 60% of them, 70%.
So it's a deep kick-off, once again taken well by Cresswell. I like it when it rhymes like that. It's nice, isn't it? I'm going to use that one this season, I think, Graham.
Yeah.
On towards the 20-metre mark now. I can officially confirm I have lost the feeling in my toes now, as the temperature starts to drop as we approach 3:30 in the afternoon.
Your heart must sink when you look to the bench and Joe Bullock comes running back on.
Yeah, it's some pack they've got, isn't it, this year, the Raiders? And like we've said for many years with Paul Crary, he never really has the budget at his disposal to have a massive 25 to 30 man squad. Well, but when he does build up the players, he builds up the rest of them with amateurs, and he goes down that route for budget constraints, really. But at the same time, he does love to develop these amateur players and the youngsters from the Furness Raiders. But when they do stay fit, when he has the 16, 17, 18 players that are probably your first team on the sheet, it's a strong team, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if they can stay majority of this team for the season to see them in the top 4.
Got the rub of the green there, I thought, really. The Raiders, bit of enterprise. They went up the middle, like we were saying, just tried to offload the ball, and unfortunately it was deemed a working hand. It was the hand that knocked it down.
Yeah, it was Lava had come up, and he just put himself in the position and just couldn't quite come up with possession.
So Raiders once again moving down that right-hand side here, looking to get an offload away once again. They've targeted Curtis Tier this afternoon, and rightly so. He was a machine last season, so clearly that's something they've worked on. He hasn't had the openings I think he would have liked, but either way the conditions do change a lot of the tactics that you may go through as Raiders now then finding a way through on that left-hand side, now within 10 metres of the line. Back to the camera so we can see who's who as Brad Walker gets this one out. Raiders trying to play this one across. It falls to Ryan King. Ryan King is trying to look for his options. He's been told he has to take the tackle there, otherwise he's going to concede the penalty. So he's taken the knee. 5 metres out now. Play continues. Can they find the line? They found a way through. I'm pretty sure that's Ellis Robson. Ellis Robson is the try scorer then for the Raiders. It's their 4th of the afternoon. We've got 17 minutes to go, and it's the Raiders' second row with his first of the season.
Yeah, another well-worked try there. They had Workington going back. Couldn't quite reset in time. Quick play off the play of the ball, and Ellis Robson just come through the gate.
Got to say, it was really clinical again in that sort of position as far as Barrow were concerned, and definitely on this pitch, if it's a wet weather day, there's not going to be many teams that will be able to cope with, as you mentioned, the intensity of the pack and the guile that Barrow now have, which has been built together over a number of years through the coaching of Cresta.
On days like this, they're the sort of tries that you look to try and score when you get close to the line. A little bit of deception and a flick quick ball and hit the ball hard near the line, to get your 6-pointer or your 4-pointer. But like you say, we have studied and watched this squad play on a day like this where they haven't controlled the ball.
Okay.
They've had a poor retention, and that's what's made it Barrow on the end of a scoreline similar to what we have here today. But not that often, I'm glad to say, but often enough for Paul's liking on some occasions. Just playing smart sometimes.
Brad Walker successfully converts that one then.
But you can't, the plaudits, they deserve the plaudits today because they really have, I think the second half, the ball retention will be completed sets, will be in the highs, certainly early 80s.
I just want to quickly say as well one thing on Ellis Robson. Obviously he came here with this incredible try scoring record that he had from Keighley, and Paul Crary, you were saying earlier about his coaching methods, they are fantastic. He's got a massive reputation for it, but when he brought him in, he knew how good he was at scoring tries. He wanted to improve on his defence. Last year, Ellis Robson was the top tackler in the team. He had the most completed tackles in the team. So now I think it's a case of he's got what Cresta wanted last year. This year, he can have a bit of both.
Yes.
So we can continue with that defence, and already we've seen him on the try sheet. Let's see if he can get them similar records what he got to Keighley, because if he does, it's going to be an incredible season for the Barrow. If they can get little things like that right, then it's going to be an incredible season.
Well, what it does as well, it means that you're not reliant on one player or two players getting all your tries, because don't get me wrong, everyone will look to Ritson because they have done, and he'll come up with more than his fair share. I bet by the end of the season we're talking 25 tries plus for him, but if you can get different types of attack from elsewhere in your team and points coming in and players chipping in, then it's all for the betterment, isn't it?
You need your squad to, you need to be able to make ground regular. You need to be able to complete sets regular, and you need to be able to hold your own against other strong defences, and that's the key to it. And I just think the Raiders middles this year look very strong.
Ryan King there almost found a way through. He found a last-second offload that fell to Ryan Johnston, but I think it was just half a second too late. It bounced out of his hands, albeit 20 metres or so away from the Workington line, so the possession is going to go back to Town. The scoreline is going to remain Barrow 24, Workington Town 0, and we have 13 minutes left of action.
You know, to be honest there, I mean, I know, like, you want your 100% completions or aim it as near as you can. I call that a positive error because he was trying to do his level best for the side, and he's had a magnificent game as Ryan King. He's head and shoulders still out there the best player on the field in my opinion today. As Workington back in possession, it's Fulton on that left-hand side, that left-hand side of the defence. Getting me left and right mixed up. It bodes well for the season, that does, doesn't it?
Left Workington, and right, it's a 50-50 show.
Workington trying to launch the point of attack again. They've gone without the ball. Oh, again, Carter was so clever as he engaged the defence and slipped the ball out. And another day, I think they're making a break off that at Workington. But not today.
Not today.
Today's not the day.
I mean, how many times have we seen in exactly that same position, ball turnover?
Yeah.
Just as they get into the Raiders' half.
And to be fair, this was a problem partway through last season, you know. So I bet the best games that Workington played, they only completed about 75% of the, of the completions.
Yeah.
And for me, you're right, it needs to be around about 80-85 here in the Championship. Otherwise,
gone for the kick early in the set here. Will it stay in field of play? No, it's not. Ritson just found enough to dry patch to pick up the pace there, but there was just too much on the kick. And to be fair, we haven't seen the ball bounce around too much this afternoon, but I think that time it just got the it got the driest part of the surface and it's fell out. But again, it's just nice, good intentions from the Raiders. 12 minutes to go. Clearly the game is in the bag now and they're trying something a little bit different.
Definitely, yeah. And I'm hoping that Workington can get something out of this game, but they're going to have to work really, really hard because yet again they've got possession about 20 metres from their own line, and then Exocet missile time in the defence. Brilliant tackle. I'm just trying to figure out who that is with the bit between his teeth. He's come up with 3 tackles on the spot.
I think it was Jared Stack.
Well, I mean, it's fantastic work around that dummy half position, to be honest, from a Raiders point of view. Evan Lawther, again, the best player on the pitch as far as Workington are concerned, but even he's coughed up the ball.
Ball must come out. Raiders in possession. We're probably going to see more of this in the final 10 minutes. It's an absolute mud bath out there on that Craven Park pitch as Barrow now then move this one back into the centre. It's almost one-up rugby now then because they're going to struggle even with a long ball over the top. It's probably impossible to get a decent grip on the ball at the moment as Raiders now then moved within 10 to Johnston out towards this left side. Broadbent shuffles the dummy, takes the tackle under 10 metres away now then as Ryan Johnston screaming at his teammates to set this one up in position. Surely they're going to get some shape here and see what they can do for these final few metres, looking for yet another try. There's Barrow now then with Ryan King just to the left hand side of the posts, setting up some big shape on that right side. Let's see if they can pull off this one as Brad Walker then shifts this one out to Ryan Johnston. Johnston gets this one across. Raiders finding the space, Raiders finding the line, and Raiders finding yet another try. It's the cherry on top of a very wet cake. Raiders make it 28-0 with 10 minutes to go.
I think it's Curtis Tier as well down that side, so this time getting the better of Fulton.
Did I say Curtis Tier?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was Curtis Tier down that right hand side, yeah.
It's hard, this is testing all of our, I won't say skills, I'd say our eyesight.
I'm going to book myself in at a couple of different opticians, I think, over the next couple of weeks, just to make sure.
Boos ringing out around the Northern Competition Stadium as Curtis Tier officially announced as the try scorer. Yet another try scorer, the third of this second half. I won't repeat now what the Workington fans are saying, but let me tell you, they are not happy.
It's not pleasant. It's not radio friendly anyway, put it that way.
It's not. Graham starts repeating it, it'll be another one of them courses for you, Graham, won't it?
Pass. Next question.
So it's going to be.
I hope we get the weather he's expected with the flip-flops.
Is that the cameraman?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
You know, this is Gary. He always does the pictures and the media for Workington Town.
Right.
I have never seen him in sensible shoes yet in 12 months.
Well, it depends. Term sensible. What is sensible?
That's a great conversion, by the way, from Brad Walker. Moves the scoreline on to 30 points to nil.
30 points to nil. We're talking about. I'm an all-year-round shorts man, you know. Just saying.
Well,
I don't mind it. I live in them. I've got one pair of jeans and one pair of pants, and I wear them when I go golfing.
how cold will his toes be?
You just get numb to it, I think, eventually. Well, they get frostbite, I'm not sure.
See, this is why you Cumbrians are just the hardest of the hard. The toughest of the tough. I mean, yeah. I thought I'd had a rough upbringing in Lee, but, you know, when push comes to shove and you've got, you know, camera guys with flip-flops on and Daniel in shorts, you're a different breed. And that's said with the most nicest possible way.
Thank you, Dave.
They're not all tough. I've got walking boots and full walking gear on.
You're a pensioner though, Graham, so in age.
Well, I'll class myself. Yeah, go on. I'll take that.
Raiders 30 points to nil up. Let's not get too carried away. 8 minutes to go then. Will they keep, ironically, a clean sheet? Because there's nothing else clean about this game this afternoon, let me tell you. We've had a couple of fights in the first half. Almost a few comings together in the second half. But one thing we haven't got is a clean shirt, socks, shorts, nothing. It's a utter mud bath here.
Ball's kicked downfield and Donaghy's picked it up for Workington Town. Just over 30 metres away from their own line at the start of this set. Lee picks up out of dummy half and sends it right to Corkill, but yet again he's got a really stern Barrow welcoming committee in front of him. Quick play of the ball. And Zarin Galea again finds the going tough. I think he's picked out Ellis Robson there. No doubts about his defence on this occasion. That was a cracking tackle. Again, the ball comes loose, picked up. Carter keeps it moving to Stevie Scully. Scully will roll over the halfway line, takes on 2 or 3 defenders, rolled on his back midway between the halfway line and the 40-metre line. Lupton sends it to the left. Oh, and they've worked a little bit of space. That last pass did look a little bit suspect, but it worked its way out to Oscar Doran, who's tackled on the 30-metre line. Infield it comes again. Carter lofts his kick to this right-hand side. And it's a confident take. And here's T. Ritson.
T. Ritson's away. Can he set the last man? He can. Oh, it's the ankle tap at the last second. We were almost jumping on board then, but he didn't quite get past that last one. That would have been a sensational finish to a very, I won't say grim, but very cold, muddy afternoon here. 6 minutes to go. Barrow Raiders 30, Workington Town 0. And I tell you, during the whole Christmas and New Year's break, I've been desperate to scream about tea. Let me tell you, it's coming soon. I'm warming up. As the Workington fans are letting T. Ritson know that he's, in their opinion, not quite St. Helens quality. All good fun and games, isn't it, when we get these rugby fans together?
Decent kick into the backfield there from Barrow, and it's been an error, to be honest, from Oscar Doran. We've just reached that stage of the game now where it's just, if you can keep hold of it, you do your level best to get on it, don't you? Because the ball is like a bar of soap out there, isn't it?
And to be fair, the Raiders have they found themselves in a lot better field position to put them kind of kicks in, whereas the Raiders, Cresswell and co, they've had a ball coming at them from 50 yards away, you know, so they've been in a whole lot of space and a whole lot of time to field the ball.
So scrum down then. Ball's out to Josh Wood, once again attacking that line. Just a few metres to go then. Will they get another one for all these fans that have turned up this afternoon? Just while we're going through this, Graham, could you get a nudge for us and try and find out what the attendance was? As Barrow now then, out towards this left edge with Ryan Johnson is dummying the kick. Eventually gets the ball off to Broadbent. Broadbent out towards Cresswell. Cresswell moves the ball back in towards the middle. Strong tackle from this Town defence as Barrow still find themselves within the final 5 metres. Out towards this right side again. Shuffling this ball across, all the way across. It's just going to be tackled there. It was Andy Bullman that was trying to find some sort of space as Barrow now still within 10. They've still got a few tackles remaining. Jared Stack gets that ball away. Still playing with it down in that right-hand corner. Now it's last tackle. Can the Raiders find their 6th of the afternoon? It's a little drop onto the boot and it's been rolled through. It's going to go dead. Once again, good defence from Workington, and to finish that set, they've actually forced a dropout.
Yeah, it was a cracking little bit of play there, to be honest. As far as Barrow were concerned, spirited defence from Workington, drop out forced under the post, plenty of pressure still on this Workington Town defence. What sort of meterage can Carter get with this kick? He's been trying his level best to get it further down the field, and it'll trickle its way up beyond the 30 towards the 40, where it's picked up by Broadbent.
4 minutes to go now until full time. 30 points to 0. Raiders trying to get their 6th try of the afternoon, still attacking, but still can't do too much more than just the one-up rugby. They're trying to spread the ball out towards the end of the set the best they can, and so far it's kind of working, but Workington are doing well. Good offload, a late offload there. That time it caught Workington off guard. It's a good pass out the back. Barrow have got space on that right-hand side. They've got the overlap, they've got the space. They've found a try line once again, and now it's going to be the full-back. It's going to be the 6th try for the 6th different try scorer. Luke Cresswell goes over the line. Barrow Raiders 34, Workington Town 0.
Now that was a dry weather try.
Yeah.
They played that really, really well, and that just shows that, tired defence, tired team, and the Raiders took it to them, shifted it out left to right, hit the centres, and a nice little inside ball to Luke Cresswell, who was steaming up on the inside for a well-deserved 4-pointer.
Do you know what? I do, maybe it's just me. When I tell the announcer who scored, I wait for a reaction from the players, because I know if I'm wrong, they'll probably turn around and think, no, it's not. So far, so good.
Hey, I will say, though, and I'll back you up here, Graham, that was a really, really good try. And I think it's just confidence. And having that confidence that somebody is going to be pushing up on the inside. And Cresswell's been doing it all his Barrow career,
that's right. He's always gone up that middle. And on occasions where they've been struggling for an half-back on a game, he's gone in at half-back, and he looks attacking. He looks for an opening all the time. So it's something that's in the player from day one. When he was going back to his amateur days at Barrow Island, he was always looking to make a break, and he's a quick player, clever player.
Just got to give a shout out there as well to the fans that have come down this afternoon. The official attendance, I didn't think it was going to be anywhere close, to be honest, when you consider the conditions, you consider the TV stream they've got on as well today. 2,003 people. Me and you are the 3 guys. We're going to put us down as the 3. 2,000 plus a fantastic commentary trio, shall I say. Missed the conversion attempt there, so it remains Barrow Raiders 34. Workington Town 0. Sponsors, man of the match, Ellis Robson this afternoon, and I suppose there's 2 of yous. I'll take 2, and obviously our guest. We'll go with our guest our guest commentator first, Dave Parkinson, that's come down from Workington. I think we know which way you're going to go, Dave. But
I'm going to go Ryan King. I just think he's been superb this afternoon. Really good.
For me, it's between Joe Bullock, Ryan King. Ryan King's had more minutes on the field, therefore I completely agree with Dave. And Ryan King, there have been right across the Raiders field. All the players have played well, and the game overall has been played in the right spirit by both teams. It's been a good spectacle.
And from a Workington point of view, who would you be thinking that we should be looking out for into the season?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I've been very impressed with Grant Reid. When he come on, he brings something different to the team. Evan Lawther, I think he's been the best player.
We've got a break here for the Raiders, moving down that right-hand side. They're getting the ball back into Cresswell. Can Cresswell find a line? He avoids the ankle tap. He finds a line. It's 2 in 2 minutes for the Raiders fullback. It's Raiders 38, Workington 0. They are absolutely running away with this one in the Cumbrian derby. Lick it and stick it.
Yeah, well, I don't mean this in a detriment of any description, Dave, but I don't mind getting a score prediction wrong by 20 odd points as long as it's for the positive for Raiders.
I think this was always going to be like a harsh lesson for Workington Town, and it's those little things in the first half that we talked about, lots of possession given away, not really being able to get beyond the halfway line, and that's continued into the second half. And Barrow have run away with it in these closing stages, haven't they?
The first thing they've done is it's been a typical Cumbrian derby in the first half, and there was the physical side of things, but through it they've been consistent, and what that consistency has been completing sets, and it's that's won Workington down, and in the second half they've just slowly ground them until fatigue comes in and the Raiders start to throw the ball around, make a few links, inside passes, and it's led to several tries. Is it 7?
7 tries in all, 5 tries surprisingly in that second half with terrible conditions, but it's finished full time here. Barrow Raiders complete an emphatic afternoon's work. They've beaten their Cumbrian neighbours Workington Town by 40 points to 0 in very challenging, very wet and very muddy conditions. From start to finish, Barrow are in complete control, building pressure patiently, dominating the collisions and showing real composure with ball in hand despite these very testing conditions. And in the game where discipline and attitude were always going to be key, it was the Raiders that got both absolutely spot on and defended superbly. They kept their line intact throughout and consistently turned pressure into points, especially in that second half. This wasn't about flair this afternoon, it was just about doing the hard things and doing them well. Barrow Raiders did exactly that right across the park. A clean sheet, a commanding scoreline, and a performance that will live long in the memory of these home supporters. Final score here, Barrow Raiders 40, Workington 0, live on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Graham Dale, how would you like to summarise that one?